Hello, John here in Las Vegas, Nevada with my new friend Kon Boomer.
How you doing?
And so we were hanging out, and you mentioned your vegan story, and I found it very, very inspirational. So I thought we could share that. So what inspired you to go vegan?
Um, what inspired me to go vegan was my health. I had some serious health issues. Um, I thought I was going to die, really. I was in the hospital for 3 days. They did a lot of blood work. They wanted to cut me open to take a look at my heart. I was overweight. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, and I was put on medication as a result of those diagnoses. And when they wanted to cut me open and take a look, I drew the line. Medication was one thing, but getting in internally, I wasn't comfortable with that. I wasn't even comfortable with taking medication to begin with. So, and I was still reluctant. I took the prescription and I checked myself out of the hospital because I didn't want to believe I was that sick. Um, and then I took a trip to New Jersey, and then I had a diabetic attack. I guess that's what they call it, and it forced me to take all the prescription. I had over 12 prescriptions for medication, and I filled them all right then and there. At a CVS at about 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And then I just took them all because that's how fearful I was going to die. That's how excruciating the pain was to me. And I have a high tolerance for pain, but when that happened, I felt like something has to be done. And I was convinced that was it. And after being on the medication for a while, I was still feeling that. So the medication was not helping. And then a good friend of mine that I've known for a long time is a 2-year vegan, and he said, "Con, you really need to change your eating habits. You need to cut out meat." And I said, I got nothing to lose. Let's try it. So I took a trip with him to Las Vegas because he was moving there, and there was a lot of activism, animal rights, and outreach over there, and I want to be a part of that. So I said, "Okay, I'll go with you." So I started a trip in Kansas City. By the time we got to Denver, Utah, Arizona to Vegas, I was already in that transformation. It became like I didn't eat meat. I didn't want to consider myself a vegan at the time, but I didn't eat meat. And then I started feeling better. And then my symptoms were slowly going away, one at a time. So when they were going away, I started taking myself off my medication. And now it's been 2.5, almost 3 months. I haven't eaten meat. I quit smoking. I don't drink that much, but socially I do. So I cut off all the stuff that my old life was I was doing with my old life, and the new life now I'm completely medication free. The symptoms aren't around. I work out more. I'm a lot healthier. In my opinion, I am. I still monitor my blood count, and it's stable. It's where it's supposed to be. I exercise and I work out. I feel healthier and freakishly stronger than I was in my 20s, and that's because I'm eating more and more vegetables, more and more fruits and stuff that are natural protein. That I found out that this whole time I've been eating red meat, thinking that's the only way to get protein, and it's processed protein that's not good for you. So I was literally rotting from the inside out. Now I am like getting healthier, and I believe that I'm starting to reverse the effects of all the illness just by eating properly and by going vegan. So that's how I got to my journey. And now my second part of my journey is to educate the public, to spread the word, my families, my friends, and do activism, fight for the animal, and then also fight for the humans that aren't educated. If we educate ourselves and look into the things that in our life that matters, which is our life, we can see that we have been poisoned by the propaganda of the meat company, the dairy company. It's all about profit to them, but they don't realize how much like bacteria and cysts and pus and stuff that they're putting out there in the mainstream so people can consume, and they're dying slowly. Because you heard of diets and stuff like that. The Atkins diet that you had mentioned to me before, that's gone. It would work that well, it would still be here. But vegan works well. A lot of vegans have gone healthy, including myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but my testimony is what I'm going to preach because that's all I know. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, let food be your medicine. And I know like it's a win for the corporations if they sell us food that gets us sick. Then they can sell us the cholesterol lowering drugs and everything. So they win all around. It's all about money. But yeah, you're healing yourself with food. And you mentioned you're a veteran.
I'm a former Marine, and I've always been, healthy and gung ho. Like I said, I used to work out all the time. Now I'm not. It's not a diet for me. It's a lifestyle for me. I can never go back to consuming meat or dairy or whatever have you from this point forward. From what my renewed life that I found, I'm just going to go forward, and I believe that I've added instead of taking away. I've added years to my existence. So I might have a lifespan of maybe 5-10 years at the rate I was going even on medication, but going vegan, I guarantee you, I'm putting 40, maybe 50 more years to my life. So.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the start of a whole new life. I went vegan when I was 27, and then all of a sudden I had a really strong reason to live, to spread the word about veganism and animal rights and speciesism. Why love one but eat the other? We're taught that certain animals like cats and dogs are our pets, right. And then other animals like cows, pigs, chickens, turkey, fish are food, and that's speciesism.
Yeah, speciesism. We need to end that too, because there's no difference between a pig, a cow, a cat, and a dog. They're all animal, So we need to end that. And in society, just because we're spared the slaughters, just because we're spared the death, we don't see that, so we choose to accept that the cow that's in front of us, or the beef patty, or the steak that's in front of us is brought to us by other means. But when you see it from the process from growth to death to you consuming it, it's going to change your mind. That it's not this, it's the same as your cat and dog going through the same thing. Speciesism is really big in Asia. Yeah. That's one thing that I like to conquer, go there and make a difference. That's a challenge of all vegans, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. Well, I heard there are more vegans in China than any other country.
39%, I believe. It's what I read on. I mean, I might be wrong, but because being a vegan, I want to do research. I want the right information to. From what I read, I believe 39% has gone in China has gone like meatless, or what. I don't know what the word they use. I don't know if it's full vegan, but
vegetarian. Maybe.
Yeah, at least it's a start. Yeah, it has to start there, So.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to add, or?
No, not really. I'd like to do an update maybe 6 months from now to see how I am physically, mentally, and where I am at the level of activism for the animals and stuff like that. So, but I'm already convinced that I'm healing, going vegan. I'm healing from the inside out instead of rotting from the inside. So I'm healing. I'm getting better. So.
Yeah, and now you're helping others too, planting seeds, as we talked about. Right. And even if someone doesn't go vegan right away, you're still planting a seed. Exactly. And getting them thinking, getting the ball rolling.
And the seed will grow. Yeah. It will grow. So.
Okay, Kon, very nice to meet you, and thank you for sharing your story. Go vegan, everybody.
Go vegan. Thanks, John.
And do activism for the animals.
Exactly.
It's not food.
It's violence.
It's never food.
It's violence.
It's not fashion.
It's violence.
Bird trade.
Death trade.
Bird trade.
Death trade.
Do not buy the humane lie.
Animals do not want to die.
We are unstoppable.
A vegan world is possible.
What do we want?
Animal liberation.
What do we need?
Animal liberation.
When do we want it?
Now.
Are we going to get it?
Yes.
Are we going to fight for it?
Yes.
One struggle, one fight.
Human freedom, animal rights.
One struggle, one fight.
Human freedom, animal rights.
Back to the health thing. I was on my deathbed in the hospital for 3 days, taking all kinds of medication. Even the medication was not helping me. When I went vegan and stopped eating animals, the rotting carcass of a dead animal, I started feeling better. I got off my medication. I started working out, quit smoking, quit drinking, and live a healthier and happier lifestyle. I've added probably 44 years to my lifespan. When I was eating meat, I believe I was dying from the inside out. Going vegan has made me feel like I am healing from the inside out. And I just want to educate the public and open your eyes to the atrocity. Not only are you killing yourself, you're killing the planet, you're killing the animals. You're not leaving anything for your children's children. You might not be in your era, then you don't see this result. But what about them? What about the future? And the future starts with us. That's why I'm happy to see all my sisters and brothers out here advocating for the animals. What do we want?
Animal liberation.
Are we going to get it?
Yes.
We are unstoppable.
A vegan world is possible.